The story of Genesis. Chapter 21. Fulfillment of promises and complex relationships. Genesis chapter 21 highlights the fulfillment of God's promises to Abraham and Sarah, the birth of Isaac, and the complex relationships that arise within Abraham's family. This chapter delves into themes such as faith, obedience, God's provision, and the challenges of human relationships. By examining these events, readers gain a deeper understanding of how God's promises are fulfilled and the importance of trust and integrity in maintaining healthy relationships. The chapter begins with the long-awaited fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham and Sarah, the birth of their son, Isaac, Genesis 21, 1-3. This event is significant because it confirms God's faithfulness in keeping his promises, even when they seem impossible. Sarah, who had been barren for many years and was well past childbearing age, miraculously conceives and gives birth to Isaac. Scholars like Walter Brueggemann emphasize that Isaac's birth symbolizes the continuation of God's covenant with Abraham and his descendants, reinforcing the theme of divine promise and assurance. The joy and celebration surrounding Isaac's birth reflect the deep sense of fulfillment and gratitude that Abraham and Sarah feel, underscoring the importance of patience and trust in God's timing. Isaac's birth also marks a turning point in Abraham's life, shifting the focus of God's promise to him and his descendants. With Isaac, the direct line through which God's covenant will be established becomes clear, while Ishmael, Abraham's son through Hagar, remains a significant yet separate part of Abraham's family. This distinction sets the stage for the later events in the chapter, highlighting the complexities of familial relationships and the consequences of human decisions. The chapter proceeds to address the tension between Sarah and Hagar, Abraham's maidservant. Despite the joyous birth of Isaac, Sarah observes Ishmael, Hagar's son, mocking Isaac, Genesis 21:9. This incident creates conflict, leading Sarah to request that Abraham send Hagar and Ishmael away to prevent Ishmael from sharing in Isaac's inheritance. Abraham is distressed by this request, but God reassures him, telling him to listen to Sarah and promising to take care of Hagar and Ishmael. Genesis 21, verse 10-12. This divine intervention highlights the theme of obedience and the importance of adhering to God's guidance, even when it involves difficult decisions. Scholars like Terence E. Fretheim suggest that this episode illustrates the challenges of maintaining faith and integrity within complex family dynamics. Abraham's willingness to comply with God's instruction, despite his personal distress, demonstrates his deep trust in God's plan and his commitment to righteousness. The separation of Hagar and Ishmael also underscores the distinction between the covenant community centered around Isaac and the broader family relationships that exist outside of it. As Abraham sends Hagar and Ishmael away, God provides for them in the wilderness of Beersheba, ensuring their survival and future prosperity. Genesis 21, 14-19. Hagar names the well of water Beer Lahai Roi, meaning the well of the living one who sees me, acknowledging God's presence and care in her time of need. Genesis 21:19. This act of provision reinforces the theme of God's unwavering support and protection for those who trust in him. Scholars like John Walton highlight that God's care for Hagar and Ishmael demonstrates his mercy and commitment to all his people, not just those directly involved in the covenant. Throughout Genesis chapter 21, the themes of faith, obedience, and divine provision are prominently displayed. Abraham's unwavering trust in God's promises, even when faced with personal and familial challenges, serves as a powerful example of steadfast faith. Sarah's role as the mother of the promised son emphasizes the importance of God's timing and the miraculous nature of his interventions. Hagar and Ishmael's story highlights God's care and provision for all his people, regardless of their circumstances or relationships. From a practical standpoint, Genesis chapter 21 offers valuable lessons on trust, integrity, and the importance of seeking God's guidance in all aspects of life. Abraham's experiences encourage believers to rely on God's promises, even in the face of uncertainty and adversity. The resolution of conflicts through honesty and restitution serves as a model for maintaining healthy and respectful relationships. Additionally, the story of Hagar and Ishmael emphasizes the importance of caring for those in need and trusting in God's provision during difficult times. Scholars have extensively analyzed Genesis chapter 21, offering various interpretations and insights. For example, Leon Morris discusses the theological implications of Isaac's birth, highlighting how it represents the continuation of the Abrahamic covenant and the establishment of a new generation through whom God's promises will be fulfilled. The chapter's emphasis on divine protection and guidance resonates with contemporary believers, reminding them of God's constant presence and care in their lives. Understanding the historical and cultural context of these events enhances modern readers' appreciation of the narrative, allowing them to draw parallels between Abraham's experiences and their own spiritual journeys. Genesis chapter 21 is a rich and multifaceted chapter that highlights the fulfillment of God's promises, the complexities of human relationships, and the unwavering protection of God over his covenant. Through the birth of Isaac, the separation of Hagar and Ishmael, and Abraham's interactions with Abimelech, the chapter explores themes of faith, obedience, integrity, and divine provision. Supported by biblical teachings and scholarly interpretations, Genesis chapter 21 offers valuable lessons for believers striving to live faithfully amidst life's challenges. By embracing the principles outlined in this chapter, individuals can develop a deeper trust in God's promises, maintain integrity in their relationships, and recognize the profound ways in which God intervenes to fulfill his purposes.